So it's the 9th of March miracle in 1943 is not by accident, because you have to look at all the years that came before and their fight before. So what happens in the March 9th, 1943 is considered the first deportation attempt of the Bulgarian Jews. There was a signed agreement beforehand that Bulgaria was going to give 20,000 Jews from Bulgaria, and 12,000 were supposed to come from inside Bulgaria. And they already had the plans. They already knew that they already gathered some of the Jews in a city called Plovdiv and Kostandil and certain areas. They already put them in schools and locked them up. And everything was in motion for them to be deported. And their destination, as we know it, was probably Treblinka, the death camp. And most of the Jews that got there were killed. Everything was prepared. But what happened? In Plovdiv, for example, the metropolitan of Plovdiv was called Kirill. And he saw that his Jewish members of his town were being collected and put in a school. He immediately got up. He ran to the school. The people, the police at the school were trying to stop him, saying, "No, you don't need to go in. This is where this is only for Jewish people." And he told them, "Try and stop me." He jumps over the fence, and I actually heard this testimony from a woman who was there in the school. So I heard it from a first-hand person. She was a little girl, and she told me she saw him literally with his gown, jumping over, and he wasn't young, jumping over to the fence and telling her and a few other Jewish people who were in the courtyard in the school, he says, "Where you go, I will go."
Chills.
He says, and wherever happens to you is going to happen to me. And he said, "I will lay on the train tracks for this train not to move. You will not deport my Jews from the city outside of Bulgaria." And he sent a letter to the King Boris, and he demanded that he set the Jews free. And this is only one city. We also know that in the same time, Metropolis Stefan in Sofia, with Rabbi Dan Sion, pleaded the king to release the Jews, that no Bulgarian Jew would leave the country. And praise God, this verdict was revoked. And actually, it was a matter of 4 hours difference between life and death for these Jewish people, because 4 hours before they were supposed to be sent, the order for canceling the deportation came, and the Jews were released from the schools, were released from the places that they were held, and they went back home. And it's a total miracle from God. But I believe it's because there were influential people like Kirill, like Stefan, like Daniel Tzihon, who did whatever they could in order to stop the deportation of these Jews.
Yeah.
It sounds like they definitely understood what was happening, and that their morals, their faith, the strength from God, thank God, was something that played a role here. And their work together, it sounds like, was of the utmost importance. This coming together, these years of building relationship and these years of Christians standing with the Jewish people is something that was so influential here. It's quite inspiring. It's quite inspiring for today as well.
I think, if we had Christians like that, true believers in Europe, in other countries, who would have stood with the Jewish people and fought with them against all those laws and all this killing of the Jews, murdering the Jews, how many Jews we could have saved in Europe if we had the churches and the leaders of those churches standing with the Jewish people like they did in Bulgaria.